that you also have a career as an illustrator, and you've illustrated numerous books.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't quite say numerous books, but I did do a lot of illustration in the 1970s. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, New York City was undergoing a financial downturn much like the one today. And then it became very difficult for me to get regular work, and so I started doing other things, including working on commission for people more, where I really needed to make sure that I had an income coming in. But that was something that interested me very much in my work. Appeared like when New York Magazine started, I was one of the original artists working with that. Now this picture is of course a drawing, and the title is Rosario Beach. And if one accesses the gallery website, it will discuss my work, and it mentions that a part of my work is to do landscapes from Northwest Washington. I grew up in Northwest Washington, and I was interested to sort of apply this kind of painting to these local subjects. I mean, this was a place where I used to go with my family when I was a child. And I've a painting. I think I did the drawing first and the painting second, but it was based both on recollections and postcard of this place, which exists on Puget Sound. This is roughly near Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Now, for the viewers, the website of the gallery where you can see more of this is DAMELIOTERRAS.com. That's DAMELIOTERRAS.com. DAMELIOTERRAS.com. So check it out.
And we'll be giving that to you again towards the end of the show.
Now, did you go to art school?
Well, not actually. I went to Pomona College in Claremont, California, and I graduated from there in 1961. And that was a period when there was a lot of artistic interest in Southern California. And as many of you probably know, there were lots of people from Europe settled in Southern California because of the Nazis and World War II. And many of the teachers I had and people who were interested in my art in Southern California came from this very sophisticated European background. And then the head of the art department, Peter Seltz, who later was with Berkeley for many years, was part of that community. And so you had a very fertile artistic atmosphere at that time.
So you studied art, but at a regular university?
Yes, a regular college, and then and as I said, Los Angeles. Pomona was 40 miles from Los Angeles. It seemed like 40,000 miles by bus, but it was only 40 miles. But I think I did partake of that atmosphere.
Now what is this?
Now this painting is based on a 19th century English illustration, and it shows a pan with an Eros in his lap, and he's playing the panpipes. And I call this picture rather ambiguously Sacred Grove, but it is.
Why is it ambiguously?
Well, because I just didn't particularly want to be too specific about what the subject is, in case this had to go through the mails. Anyway, this represents a period of some of my work. There are two works in the exhibition which also are of somewhat edgy subject matters, less conventional in certain terms than the landscapes.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
I love the sky in that painting.
Thank you.
It's really beautiful.
Philip Van Aver. All right. Tell us a little bit, Philip, about how you're interested. I've looked through your collection of postcards, and I love your postcard collection. Now, let me just let's speak for a second before we go back to seeing some more of your paintings, because I wanted to, I love your postcard collection, and through your postcards, and you know, a postcard collection, I mean, we've sat through and looked through hundreds of postcards, and sitting in Tompkins Square Park.
Well, those were just my New York cards.
Right, and they were just fascinating. I just thought it was just so beautiful, and there's something about your work that invokes the postcard, and something about the postcard that invokes your work.
Of course, I do. My paintings are small scale. They're mostly bigger than postcards. Right. But I also, for instance, the two paintings of overgrown landscapes and the Rosario Beach were all based in part on postcards. I mean, I didn't really want to go into that when we were discussing it, but in the case of the overgrown ruins with the statue, the horse, that was a specific site in Rome, which I used the postcard as a basis for the image. And when I was doing illustration, I often would buy postcards, sometimes postcards of flowers and things of that sort, which I could thinking, well, I could use these in illustration.
Sort of like an image library.
What's your love? Tell me about postcards. So what's the basis of your love of postcards? Where did you pick that up?
I think I first became aware of them actually when I was a child. But later, like after I went to college, postcards started appearing in bookstores. Like, you know, some of the bookstores in California had them. And then because I was interested in postcards, people who had them gave them to me. And at the time, we're talking now about 1966, 67. There weren't many books on postcards, and though people certainly collected them.
I see. So and so you did fall in love with them, and they are wonderful. I mean,
well, that's the subject for another show.
Yeah. At the same time, because it's just that the nature, these paintings, many of them, not all of them, are so intricate and so small, and they would make like the best postcards.
Now, we've referred to your childhood a couple of times. Were you an artist as a child? Did you draw?
Yes, I always was interested in art. I mean, I didn't really know it was art at the time. And it was something my parents were, I was living in Missoula, Montana during the Second World War. And I have recollections of drawing then. And I used to like to draw and listen to the radio. You know, soap operas, things like that. I grew up in an environment where actually there wasn't much. You know, I grew up in Washington, and whereas my family took me to museums when we went to Los Angeles or to Philadelphia or other places, there wasn't something that was really part of the community the way you would have like in New York or other cities.
Tell us about this painting that we're looking at right now.
This is a drawing. This is a drawing, and of course, this drawing is pretty much postcard size. So if you're, it doesn't, for the viewers out there, it doesn't, who see this on the television screen, it doesn't cover. It's not that big.
Especially if you have a 60-inch plasma.
Yeah, I would. I'd actually be interested to see what it looked like.
If they're watching this at a sports bar with six TVs.
But this is a brush and ink drawing. As you can see, it's predominant. It's gray wash. The other one we saw was like a sepia wash drawing. Wash drawing simply means a brush and ink. And the object that is represented is like a Renaissance Italian silver ewer or pitcher. And it has it's ornamented with various like fantastic animals and a swan, I believe. And in the background of the picture is taken from a 16th century engraving, the subject of which I can't remember.
How long did something like this take you to draw?
Oh, I would say 6 weeks, something like that. I mean, I don't, you know, I enjoy making art, but I just don't, I don't believe in sacrificing myself to it by working hard.
Now, when you work, do you do the border first
Yes.
or the body first?